what's up? Hello guys, Sam here to talk to you about a new author that I just started, and let me just tell you, woo, it was a whirlwind. I read this book in 24 hours, which if anybody knows me, that is extremely hard for me to do. I have to be very much into the book and everything for it to make me want to stop everything that I am doing to read a book. Now, my husband says that it's hard for me to be focused on one thing for very long. A lot of people say I have ADHD, ADD, whatever. But honestly, I could not believe. I started it last night, which I really should not have. I'm surprised I was able to put it down to go to sleep. But anyway, so I started it back up and I finished it, and it is phenomenal. 5 out of 5 stars. First of all, let me tell you, this is The Gilded Cuff by Lauren Smith. I met her at a local author signing here in my hometown of Fort Smith, Arkansas, and we got to chat. We were supposed to both go to a author signing event in July. Unfortunately, it was canceled due to COVID, but it was really nice to meet her. I hope that we can meet up since we live so close and talk about writing, etc. But her book, this series, I cannot wait to finish it. I fell in love with every single character in this book, and that is very, very hard to do. As an author, I know it's extremely hard to do. It takes dedication and a lot of editing and just figuring everything out. And guys, I still am just shocked. I love this book. First of all, let me tell you, it does have some BDSM tendencies. And as much as I don't like that world, this book was amazing. It didn't delve too deep into that world. The first couple chapters is probably the deepest you're gonna get, but it focuses on, just like, you know, everybody says BDSM is not romance, and it is. It's just more about sex, but that's fine. But this book, I mean, it did focus on that, but so much romance. It was so, I loved seeing them, open up to each other. And that is the biggest part of this book that I loved. Also, the detective side angle of this, love it. It's like a mystery, romance, BDSM. There's so many categories that this book could be in, but the detective side angle of it, the investigative journalist, I should say. So a little bit about it is, okay, so without trying to give too much away, Sophie is trying to save Emery Lockwood, okay? She is trying to save him. She thinks she can solve his case. 25 years ago, him and his brother were abducted, and they were only, I think, 8 years old, and her best friend was also abducted when they were younger, so they have that kind of understanding of that. But she comes and she is trying to warn him. She knows something is wrong. Somebody is coming back for him. And they end up meeting in a BDSM playroom. Anyway, story goes from there, but it is so good. The romance is weaved in between the mystery of it all, and the mystery isn't just about solving the case, right? It's about them learning about each other and the awful things that they are making themselves feel guilty about, that honestly, in my head when reading this, I don't think they even understood how this stuff affected them. And, therapy, yes, probably could have been good to them, but honestly, working through it does wonders. And it's a great book. I love this book. And honestly, I plan to read the entire series. I picked up all of this series and another series, I believe, of hers. And then she also does other genres. I am forever going to be a fan of Lauren Smith's. She also writes in a pen name, so I'm going to pick those books up and have her sign them if she's willing to. I cannot believe that I've gone this long without meeting this author. She's like 3 hours away from me. And, the series, I I want to go ahead and start the second book, but I know if I start the second book right now, I'm not going to fall asleep tonight. I'm going to stay up and I'm going to read the second book, and I have to get some sleep. But I just want to commend the author on the way that she wrote this book, and I know it had to have taken so much to weave all of the plots together, the storylines, the characters, and the problem with characters is it's easy as an author sometimes to fall in love with your characters, right? You know so much about them, and sometimes we don't even realize that we make them two-dimensional. And a lot of that is captured obviously in the beta process, but this three-dimensional, baby, like, it was amazing. I fell in love with every single character. I want to read more about every single character that was in this book, and I want to know what happens, what happens in Sophie and Emery Lockwood's love affair. What happens with Hayden and Fenn? Like, what's going to happen? Anything could happen because I'm not the author, so I'm not going to write it. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I cannot wait to finish this journey. I will obviously do another review when I finish the second book. And I think, what is the second book's name? The second book's name is, I think it's the Gilded Chain. Let me see, because I don't want to tell y'all wrong. It is... Oh my God, I can't get the page. The Gilded Cage is the second book in the series. So I'm going to start that tomorrow. So if it's anything like this book, I'll probably film another video and put it up for you guys. But again, if you are looking for something that is romance and don't necessarily let the fact that it has BDM tendencies scare you away from this book, because I'm telling you, I don't normally like those books, and I loved this book. It was very well written, and it did not focus so much on that aspect of it. And even then, I don't know much about the BDSM world, but I know that when reading this, it's not what I would have pictured. And by saying that, what I mean is Emery is not the typical dominant, and what he wants from his submissive is, I don't think, normal for that world, but I could be wrong because, again, I don't know much about it. But if that scares you, please don't let it. If you like romance and you like a little bit of mystery and you like good, well-rounded characters, you are going to love this book. You're going to fly through it. You're going to not want to put it down. And you're probably going to go out and buy the whole entire series like I would have done if I hadn't already bought the entire series. But yeah, 5 stars. A thumbs up to Lauren Smith. You did amazing. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to leave a link to the book so you guys can go and buy it, because if you're anything like me, you're going to want to go ahead and pick it up. And yeah, 5 stars. It was a great book. And I'm hoping to read the second book tomorrow and film the next review for the next book. Have a good day, night. Bye.